Women, what's not to love about them? They can be soft, gentle, cute as hell, hot as hell. I mean, come on, let's just keep going on and on. And I mean, I know as a dude, personally, I very much enjoy women. Which is why when this manga was brought to my attention, I was intrigued. World End Harem. You might have a few ideas of where it's possibly going from the name. However, this honestly was a lot better than I expected. So basically, you got your boy Rito Mizuhara. And well, he's a med student. He's in love with this girl who he's been with for a long time. They're both going in the medical field together. He totally got the hots for her. However, unfortunately, he has a rare disease. And he has to go into things like cryosis. And basically, they're going to freeze him until they can make an AI-generated vaccine or cure just for him. So that takes about 5 years to do. However, a lot can change in 5 years. I mean, countries can change, people can change. However, one thing that you probably wouldn't have expected is basically 50% of the world's population dying. And that's not just any 50%. No. It is practically every single man, except for 5 individuals, one of which is Rito Mizuhara. Now, I mean, there are others who are alive. They're also in the cryo state. However, there are only 5 who are immune to it. And well, if you know anything about how genetics work, there's one way to possibly pass on this immunity, and it happens to be the art and the act, the very wonderful act of sex. And so now, all the men who have been defrosted must now breed. And there we go, that's the premise of it. You've got a whole bunch of dudes now, and they fucking. Okay, no, there's more to it. Actually, there's a lot more to it. So there are 3 main guys who focus on at the beginning. There's the 4th one who comes in later on. I'm not going to give any spoilers, just so as you know, but there are 3 who come on. I'll quickly describe the first 3. So the first one, he's been awake since before Rito was awoken. And he is the Mega Chad. This dude is, honestly, this character is pretty lit, man. I mean, he's living it out exactly how, most men would. This man is having the time of his life. He's living like a king. At the time that he was defrosted, he was the one and only man on, the one and only man who was both alive and defrosted. And bro, he was having the time of his life. Oh my goodness. Next we've got Rito. And well, he still has the hots for this girl that, he fell in love with 5 years ago. And, well, for him, it was like just a few seconds. It was like, done. There we go. That was his cryo. So he still has the hots for her, and he refuses to do it with anyone but her. However, where is she? Well, that's a good question. Read the manga to find out. But no, so he is, he refuses to breed with anyone. And he's actually got a pretty cool story. He's the main character. He is the one who this story kind of follows. However, you actually see a lot of some of the other guys. They're called numbers in this, like number 1, 2, and 3. Rito's number 2. You'll see a lot of them other, especially number 3. You see a lot of him, actually. And he's personally, I'd say, probably my favorite. Because I like his character so much. I'd say it's the most dynamic. Yeah, I'd say it's the most dynamic out of all the characters in this manga. It is basically your boy Doi Shota. He is the classic high school nerd, gets bullied, all this stuff. He wasn't doing too hot until he went into cryo. And then when he came out, next thing he knows, this agent who's like assigned to each, there's like one agent assigned to each dude. And basically their job is to give him what he wants and make him as effective as a breeder as possible. And his agent is lit as hell. She is devious. Kind of. She is lit. And she basically makes a place for him to satisfy his needs. And in doing so, he becomes a mega Chad. This man, damn, bruh. Now, I have seen a few people say that maybe if Doi was the main character, things would be a little more interesting. Honestly, I think it would have worked out well, but it would have been a much shorter series. I think it would have been, just a few volumes, maybe like 5 at the most. For comparison, this is currently at 10 volumes, so about half the length. And it probably would have just followed him as he became Mega Chad. Now his personality changed from all the situations that he's been put in. I think it'd be interesting. However, I think he works best as like a side main character. Like he's not really like off way to the side, but he's not the main character. Honestly, I really like this manga. It's a very unique take on the harem idea. Usually it would be built up like one by one. However, with this, they both do a good way of introducing girls at a good pace. So it's not like, hey, here's 20 girls and this one dude, and now they're doing the deed. No, they do a good job introducing characters kind of one by one, and I think, honestly, the author did a good job with it. It's unique enough. It's creative. It's got actually a pretty good story. They like to leave you off on cliffhangers as well, which is pretty pog. Unless you don't have like the next chapter out. But if you do, though, it's pog AF. But honestly, though, this was a really interesting manga. And not very long from now, it will no longer be just a manga. In fact, World's End Harem is getting an anime adaptation in this summer season. And I will probably be watching it, honestly. I'm interested. It has piqued my interest, this manga, which will now become an anime. I think there's going to be some controversy around it, which this is actually how it came to my attention at first, was one of my viewers, the same who actually recommended me the topic of last week's video, you see right here. He recommended me this manga because A, it was getting an adaptation, and B, he thought that it was going to have some controversy coming up with it. And personally, I agree. I could definitely see it happening. I mean, there's always going to be controversy with anime, which I talked about in this video. Once again, shameless plug for it. But there's always been controversy with anime just because of the way that it does things. It does things differently than the US does. And I'm not going to go any deeper into that topic because that was a topic for a different video, which is up once again. Third plug in a row. We're on that. The grind never stops, man. But I'm just kidding. Honestly, this is it's gonna get some sort of flashback because it's a very huge harem anime, but it's done well. I mean, it's not gonna be any more or any less than High School DxD or To Love Ru or something like that. Personally, I'd say this has a lot more booby and sex scenes. I'd say they're more intense. Like they're more. Well, I don't know if intense is the word, because To Love Ru is like the tentacle shit or whatever. But there's usually a burst of it that's like very heavily condensed with a shit ton of it, and then there's a stretch where it's just more plot stuff. And I think that's what you'll find a lot more. There's decent gaps between sexy parts. Sometimes they'll add throw in like a quick little scene here and there, but overall though there's decent gaps between them, and the parts that are sexy are they're what you'd expect. I mean, based on the plot, you can do the math and figure it out. Anyways though, this has been Senpai Supreme. Once again, I recommend this manga. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I didn't know how much I enjoyed it at first, but I was quite surprised. To be honest, I was quite surprised. But yeah, this has been Senpai Supreme. Some of my latest videos are popping up on the screen right now. So go and check them out. I got anime reviews, manga reviews, and all sorts of other stuff as well. Along with that topic, I'm currently working on building a Discord for this channel. I've thought about it for a while, and I've decided that I want to do it at 400 subscribers. So as of right now, we're pretty close. At the time of recording, we're at 383. So really not that much more to go. So fingers crossed that we'll be able to reach it, and I think that by mid-July I'll be opening up the server to everyone, if not earlier. Hopefully earlier, because if things go well, could be a little bit sooner, and we always hope things go well here. But anyways, though, this has been Senpai Supreme, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace.
Hi everyone, this is the Boatman. I hear you aren't subscribed to Senpai Supreme on YouTube.com. If you are a real epic gamer and kawaii weeb, you will subscribe right now.